Hi, hello friends, this is Ian here. Today our topic is going to be about South Africa. Yeah, South Africa. You know, everybody's speaking about civil war in South Africa. Whites against blacks, blacks against whites, and so forth and so on. But I want to tell you there is a solution to the South African problem. You know what the problem was? 300 years long, it was simply racism. You know, if people are divided, if a country is divided, then there can be no peace, there can only be civil war. And how do we divide South Africa? Yeah, I can tell you how we did that. We divide South Africa by saying there's such a thing as blacks, whites, coloreds, Indians, Chinese. And then South Africa had this interesting idea, 1948, separate development, which is another word for we are better than they are. Yeah, we are better. That's what they called separate development. And for the next 60 years, separate development was programmed, was perpetrated to get, let's say it, let's call a spade, cheap black labor. Now, when you're teaching a people that they are no use, that they are useless, that they're inferior, of course, the people themselves will return the favor. Oh yeah, we are inferior, so are you. Now, let's face it, folks. South Africa had hope when Nelson Mandela was still president. It had hope because he said we all are South Africans. And he made no distinction amongst people. He called themselves, I am the president of all South Africans. Boers, English-speaking white people, blacks, coloreds, Indians, Chinese, you know. Now, so what happened was very simple, is that we forgot that. So we started thinking in racist terms again. We're calling the human race, no, the white race, the Afrikaner race, the colored race, although the colors can never be a race because they are a mixture of all so-called races, the black race. You know, when people are like that and they start hating each other because of the color of the skins, then you have to expect problems. You have to expect dissension. You have to expect that these are the things that's going to happen. Okay? And so what I'm saying to you is very simple. If you wake up in the morning and you don't see yourself as black or white or colored, now you may call this fact. It's a fact. Oh, it's a fact that I'm white. It's a fact that I'm colored. It's a fact that I'm black. These are no facts. It's only outside appearances. The fact is you are a human being. And the fact is you are a living soul in a body. And that body may be different colors. Yeah, different colors. South Africa has a chance if you get away from this color distinction, you know, and think of yourselves as one nation. No, but you can't, because the Boers, you call themselves Boers, you don't want to mix with anyone because you think you're the master race. Now, that's a problem. Black people, especially South African, blacks think that they are now the new masters of the country. And the new masters are those that's going to run the country. They're going to take the land from the white people. They're going to take it with no compensation. You read that in the news and you hear that the responsible people are actually saying that. They are saying that. Now, you can't just take land away from people who've been tilling the land for centuries, without any compensation. You can't. No, you can't. Simply that. You can say, well, we give the land back to the blacks. Wait a minute. if you really look at the history of South Africa was, in fact, a land without populations. The rightful owners of South Africa are, in fact, the Khoisan, the Bushmen, the Khoisan. They were the only people there before the tribes came from the north of Africa and before the white people came from Europe. The Khoisan were. Now, in the meantime, the Khoisan were, they are descendants, they are the forefathers of the so-called coloureds of today. So what happened to the so-called the Khoisan? They were eradicated. Their language, the Batwa language, was destroyed. And so the so-called coloured people were called a new nation, bearing in mind that their forefathers were white and black. But this is something South Africa doesn't want to realize. They still want to ride upon the horse of, the so-called coloured people are a race, a nation. Bullshit. Bullshit. Now, let's go on a little bit further. I'm getting angry at the fact that we're still using racial terms for each other. And the so-called white people, or the so-called who are thinking of themselves as the master race, want to get the white people of all the world to come and help them and fight for them with their most modern weapons. Now, let me tell you something. If you hit someone on the head with a hammer, you mustn't be surprised if that person is going to hit you on the head. So a war in South Africa will be no solution. No one is going to win this war. Everybody will die when they start a war, because other nationalities and other people from other countries will be interested in gaining some of the land of South Africa. So I'm telling you right now, stop this thinking. Stop it. You are one nation. We are South Africa. Every one of us, we are South Africa. It doesn't matter what color your skin is. The color of your skin doesn't make you a member of a race. It makes you the member of a human race. Now, if people tell me, but there's no such thing as human race, there's only white race, you're talking the biggest bullshit. And I'm telling you that. The biggest crap in the world. Because there is no scientific evidence of that. I'm glad. At the moment I'm living in Germany, and Germany is a country of white people, but no one calls themselves a white person. They say, I am German. And that's all. If they think that, they don't mention it. They don't say, I'm white and you are black. No. They just think that. But it's okay to think it. I have no problems with that. But I do have problems if people start putting me in boxes. I hated this idea. And I'm going to still give you a history of South Africa, the way I experience it. And believe me, racism was not the solution. Separate development was not the solution. Apartheid was not the solution. It caused more havoc. It caused pain. And this is what we are reaping, what we sowed many years ago. So please, people, don't tell me there are differences, that the white race has a higher IQ than the so-called black race. This is a lot of bullshit. It's a lot of nonsense. And there are people on the internet who say that. No, you are part of the human race. There is no such thing as the color of your skin. It's the color of your skin. It doesn't make you a race. You are a human being in all of its facets. And that's what makes life so interesting, that you are a human being. And I see everybody else as a human being, living through their skin color, which makes life a lot more interesting. But there's no such thing as race. Okay? So, this is part of South Africa. If we continue around this bandwagon, then no wonder we're going to head for a catastrophe so big that anything else will look like a Sunday school picnic. So please, quit this. We are one. Get this in your head. We are one. Right? This is Ian signing off, and I'm going to talk to you again about South Africa. Thank you, folks. Bye for now.